Hi everybody, I'm back today. I missed last week, sorry. I don't even know what I was doing, but I wasn't here, so whoopsie. Anyway, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Michelle James, and I blog at Michelle James Designs, which is michelleJdesigns.com. So you can see all my projects over there. Hi Heather. Okay, so it's Winecraft Wednesday. And so I hope you guys have your beverage of choice. I have my wine today. Take a little sip to get started. Okay. Today we're going to make some DIY fabric pumpkins. They are on, hi Heather. Hi Carol Ann. They are on my blog. And they look like this. This is the larger one that I did. And then this is the little tiny one. He's really cute. Super cute. And then this is the size we're going to make today, which is like the medium size. Hi, Ange. Okay, so medium size pumpkin is what we're going to do today. So what you need for this, and I've put some products in the shop. I had a post earlier today, just a few minutes, about 15 minutes ago, saying I was going to go live, and I added some products to that. But underneath this video, I will put the blog post link so you can get to that. And then I will also, there's already some products added in there if you want to see what I'm using. And then on my Facebook page in the shop, I have added the products as well. Thanks, Carol Ann. Okay. So what you need today for this is some fabric, and I'm going to be using this one today. And these in my post I put these to ease into fall. They're pumpkins, but they're not like real traditional fall fabrics, and that's kind of what I wanted. So this is the color scheme in my living room and my kitchen and my craft room. So it kind of goes through my house. So that's what I'm going to use. Let me just refresh my page here so I can see you guys. My mouse isn't working. So I hope you guys can see I've had a little issue getting, I have a new phone, so getting the table to show, and my head, I'm not even tall, is kind of a problem today, but it's working, I think. I'll just hold things up like this. Okay, so when you need fabric. A sewing machine is handy, but optional. Like, you don't have to have it, but it makes it a lot easier. I don't know what happened here with my thread thing. There we go. Okay, so then you need some needles and thread. If you're making some larger pumpkins, one of the needles can just be a regular sewing needle. The other one, hi Sue, the other one needs to be a longer needle. And this is about as long as I have right now. I don't know if you can see, I'll put it against my brown. There we go. But if you're making this size larger pumpkin, it was really difficult for me to get that needle through when I'll show you when I do that. So I put in the shop longer upholstery needles, which I think would make this job a lot easier. And they're like $4 or something on Amazon for a few different sizes. So that would be, thanks Caroline. Flip your phone vertically, Michelle. Oh, I could, but then you don't get like this stuff. You only get this. So I wasn't sure if that would work. Maybe I'll try that next time. My phone is like teetering barely on the thing, and if I touch it at all, it goes ring, or it goes ring. So I think I'll just leave it today, but I might try that for next time. I'll hold everything up today. Okay, so needle and thread, and then the regular sewing needle and the longer needles. You need polyfill, which this is not the exact kind that I put on my shop, but it's all the same. And that one I think on Amazon was the bestseller or something, so I chose that, and it's pretty cheap. So you need fiber fill, and then you need twine, and I'm using this brown twine, and you need scissors and a ruler to at least cut your fabric so you can get your line straight. You'll need a hot glue gun and some hot glue sticks. And then for a stem, whatever you want, I'm using an actual branch from a little twig outside that I found. It's fairly thick. So, okay. And that's what I used on all these, is real twigs at the top. Okay, so let's get started. First thing you want to do is cut out rectangles for your fabric. So what the rule of thumb is, twice as wide as it is length. Okay, so this one is 18 inches by 9 inches. The other ones I did, the bigger ones were 24 by 12, and then the smallest one, this little guy, he was 12 by 6. Okay, so you just want to cut a rectangle, and then you're going to fold it right sides together. Okay, and then we're just gonna, this is the only stitching we're doing, so if you wanted to hand stitch this, you could. That's why I'm saying the sewing machine is optional, but I'm gonna use it. So I'm just gonna stitch along this edge with the right sides together really quick. You probably can't see this, but I'm sewing. You can hear it, I bet. Okay, doesn't take very long. Got it. Trim our little threads here. Okay, so now you have this kind of a tube or ring like this. Okay. And there's the seam. Now, before I iron these open, but I don't think you have to. Okay, so now what we're going to do is a running stitch all around the bottom of this and I already have some needles and threaded because you guys don't want to sit here and watch me try to thread a needle with my old eyes. Okay, so this is the bottom, but it's also the selvage is there, but it's never going to show, so I'm just going to use it. So large running stitch. Can you guys see that? There's big stitches, and it's gonna gather up as you pull it like that. Okay, so I'm just gonna go all the way around. What are you guys drinking? Anybody? Does anybody have anything they're drinking? I have my wine, but you don't have to drink wine. I wondered if Hania is on. Hania, are you here? I don't think so. Okay, so we're almost around. This goes really fast with these big stitches. These pumpkins don't take very long. You'd think they'd take a while, but they really don't. Okay, so when you get to the end, then before you knot it, gather it up. And then I like to do like a couple little stitches before I knot. Water, Carol Ann. White wine, Heather, yay. Good for you, Carol Ann, you're being healthy. Okay, so we're knotting this up. I don't know if you guys know how to knot. I usually do a stitch and then I pull it through the loop. So if you're not a sewer, and I'm a lazy sewer, I say that all the time, so, and then through the loop, pull it, okay? So I knotted it about 3 times. I don't want it to come out at all. Okay, so now we have this little, looks like a little hat now, but this is the bottom. So now we're gonna turn it to the right side out. Okay, so now we have this now it looks like a little bucket. Now we can stuff this. So I got some stuffing out already Probably didn't get enough. That's okay, I'll get some more. You don't want to over stuff, but this one, I think it needs just a tiny bit more. Maybe. We'll call that good. Okay. Sorry, just want to look. Okay. Okay, now we're going to do that running stitch again. I have another needle done. Okay, so now we're going to go around the top with that same running stitch so we can gather the top. Okay, and I start at the seam, so I go at the start at the back. And this time I went a little closer to the edge. Go all the way around, and you'd think this would take longer, but it really doesn't take very long. Almost done. Oops. Okay. And once you get to the edge, one more. You're going to gather that up pretty good. Look at that. Okay. See that? Hi, Drew. Okay. Now, once it's gathered up, before you trim it or knot it or anything, I kind of stitched like across and different ways across just to catch those pieces so they don't come apart. So I just kind of went, I don't know, like a pie, like you're cutting a pie. Go one way and go the other way. And it's not going to show, so it doesn't really matter how pretty it is. Just to close up the top. Let's see this one. See, this one right here is kind of sticking out. I don't know if you can see it. This guy right here. So I'm going to catch him so he doesn't fly away or pull down later or something. There we go. There's another one. All right. Looks pretty good. So now I'm going to give it some knots. Same thing. Take a stitch and then pull your needle through the little thread and pull it. Where did you guys learn to sew, if you know how to sew? I learned in 4-H when I was in like junior high. Hi, Peg. Okay. And so, yeah, I really attribute a lot to 4-H when I was growing up because I learned to sew and I learned to cook, kind of. I don't really cook very well or sew very well, but I know how to do it. Okay, so there we have that little guy. He's all done. Okay, so now what we want to do is start the twine pieces, pulling those. So what I did is I got a piece big enough, but before I cut off this end, I just get it the right size. And you're probably not going to be able to see it down here on the table, but I will pull it up. Okay, so like this, we're going around. And then what I'm going to do is tie a knot at the top. And I knot it a couple of times and pull. So you're getting that kind of gathered fabric. Okay, and then trim that. And we're gonna do this, let's see, 1, 2, 4 times. So now I've done this one, so now I'm gonna go this way. So another piece of twine. Get it around that. Okay. Tie my knot and pull it tight. So now we have that. And once they're knotted, you can kind of move them around a little bit to make them a little more proportionate if you want to each other. Couple knots. Trim it. I like to start right at the seam. So that seam that we sewed on the sewing machine, that's where I have that first one. Kind of move them over a little bit, make them a little more even. And then go with 2 more. Tie the knot. There might be easier ways to do this, but this is just, to me, is tying knots. That's pretty easy. There might be better ways to do it, I would say. But, okay, so now we have, and we'll kind of fix this fabric a little bit later, but so we've got these 2 here, and then we've got this bigger spot, and that's where the last one's gonna go. You can only sew by hand, Heather. Well, that's all right. This one you could do all by hand. Pull that last one. Oh, he's looking cute. One more knot. I think I did 3 on most of them, just so that they don't slide. Okay, so now we have this kind of a little mess of a pumpkin here. So then what I did was kind of took the fabric in the center here and kind of pulled it toward the top and the bottom. Make the gathers at the top and the bottom mostly so that they don't show as much. One of these isn't pulled as tight as the others, but that's okay, I think. Okay. Okay, so now I have this kind of lump up here, but that's okay. We're going to pull all of these up. So we get this kind of dip at the top for our stem. That one just is bigger than the others. Let me see if I can fix that. I don't know why. That's okay. Oh, I think that there's a problem. Okay. You just kind of have to play with it and get it to the way you like it, so that it looks nice. But it really doesn't have to be perfect. If you guys go on my blog post and you look at my cutting, there's like this big curve, but it doesn't matter because you're gathering that up. Okay. Now, this is the hardest part right here. So we're going to take this larger needle, and I already have it knotted here. Okay, the larger needle. Okay. And we're gonna start, I started at the top, and we're gonna go straight down through the pumpkin and to the bottom, back up, back down, back up. So this is why you need a larger needle when you're doing the larger pumpkins, because I almost lost my needle inside that pumpkin. I had to get my pliers out and pull that needle. And then I poked myself. Okay. So there it is. The bottom. I go back down the bottom. And when I'm doing this, I kind of take my twine and kind of make it into it so it's all together in one spot and it's not kind of all over the place. That helps with the needle to keep it in place. Ouch! Okay, there we go. And as you're doing this, you're kind of pulling that pumpkin that gives it that pumpkin shape that kind of flattens it a little bit. Down again. It's hard to know where it's going to come out. That's when you get stuck. There it is. Okay. Okay, and then back up again. Now the first time I did this, I did it with the twine, and that was a big mistake because the twine had a hard time pulling through the stuffing. So the second time I used my needle and thread, and it seemed strong enough and it worked a lot better. So try using the needle and thread. Hi Tony, thanks for popping in. Go work on your post. Okay, and the last one here. There we go. Okay, so then pull it. See how it's got that little, it's not so round anymore. It's more of a pumpkin shape, more flat. If you want to do it one more time, which maybe I will. I think I'm going to go one more time just to keep it, because it seems like it's pulling. Come on. It doesn't want to go anyway. There we go. I see it. Yeah, I think that's going to be better. Okay. One more to the top. And then I can knot it. Go. It's trying to go through too much fabric this time. Okay. There we go. I think that's better. Okay. I'm going to hold it down while I knot it because you want it to kind of squish down. And then the same thing with the knots. A couple stitches and a couple loop thread throughs. One more knot and I'll call it good. Okay, trim that. Okay, except for that one little guy. He's kind of big sticking up there. I don't know what happened to him, but okay. Now, all we need is our little stem. I think I'll do them like that. So we've got my hot glue over here. I remembered to plug it in this time. So all I'm going to do is put a little pile of glue right in there where the knots are. Cover those knots. Kind of a big pile of glue. Want that puppy to stick down. Push it down. Just hold it for a few minutes so you can, or not a few minutes, a few seconds probably. Just so it sticks. There you go. Cute little thing. Right? You guys like it? Hi, Stacy. I just finished. Yay! So there it is. Little fabric pumpkin. So I hope you guys make some. Now I have 5. So I'm all excited. And it's going to look cute on my little table. All right. Don't forget to check out the blog post. Thank you, Carol Ann. Don't forget to check out the blog post. I will put the link in here in the chat, in the comments. And check out the products if you want to. Check out the shop. All my t-shirts are in there too. Okay? So you guys have a good evening. Thank you. Bye.